Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Rave Namah. Chinmayam Vyapiyat Sarvam, Trailokyam Sacharacharam, Tatpadam Darshitam Yena, Tasmai Shri Rave Namah. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanura Dhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. There is one thing universally every creature wants, strives for, and that is happiness. We live for happiness, we die for happiness also. Yeah? Whatever we do is for happiness. Whatever we want also is for what? I don't know if you remember, but there was this one story, I must have told you some long time ago, but I was with Pujya Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda in Singapore, and Singapore is one city which is a whole country. Huh? And whenever they have programs, they have it for the whole country as such. So there was a youth conference, and all the youth were invited to that conference, and the professors had told that Swami Chinmayananda is in town and it would be wonderful that if we can have him over to inaugurate and give the keynote address. Pujya Gurudev for the youth anytime was ready, so in spite of his hectic schedule, he went there and they had allotted about 15 minutes or so for his talk. And in 15 minutes, the way he covered the subject matter in his own imitable style, with humor, logic, etc., that when he walked out from there, it's like the Pied Piper, the thousands of youth that were there, like the whole of Singapore youth, they forgot the next speaker, they walked out with him and went up to him, and youth are quite honest, I'll be meeting them tomorrow. So they came up to him and said that, we never expected that a Swami could speak like this. And we thought that, some Dadiwala Baba will come there and, bore us and say, do this, don't do this. So we had allotted only 15 minutes, but we regret that. We are being very honest. But at the end of the session today, we have allotted 2 hours to a politician. Save us, you come and speak. Pujya Gurudev's discourses plus programs were fixed. So he said, I cannot come as much as I would like to. And that time I was this young brahmachari traveling with him. As you've seen your local brahmachari, travel with me. So I was traveling with him. And they said, okay, big Swami not available. Let's have the small one. And Gurudev said, yes, I'm doing all the work, he's got nothing to do. Take him. You can have him. Anyway, I had to rush with Gurudev for the next program that he was going for. So I went with him, and for the youth, I agreed. I said, I'll come. Now, give them an inch, they want a yard. So I said, I'll come in the evening to give the address. They said, but we have discussions also. It was so nice that if you come for the discussions. I agreed, and it was hot afternoon, like today's afternoon. Hot Singapore, humid afternoon. And somebody had said, I will drop you there, and literally dropped me there. Literally dropped me there. And when I got into the university, I forgot that in Singapore, everything is uniform. Everything is the same. So I could not recognize. That time I came with a convoy of cars. This person left me outside the university. Now I'm trying to find where is that auditorium. And at that time I saw a unique sight, which even that time was quite rare, that a young man coming on a bicycle. And bicycle is the only equipment which is remote control. Nowadays, even on YouTube you will find how the ancient Indians had bicycles. I don't know. Somebody going on showing that bicycles in ours, It's the only equipment which is remote control with your vision. I'm sure some of you have ridden bicycles, no? Yeah? And you know that when you were riding a bicycle and a pretty girl went from there, where did your bicycle turn? Yeah? The bicycle just turned, is it not? See, remote control with your vision. Such sophisticated technology, What if they found that, that they can use that for the missiles? But then they'll have to ride the missiles. So, he was looking towards me and came dashing towards me. I said, wait, I'm not a cycle stand. No, stop. But anyway, I was looking out for someone. So, I asked him, that where is this place? He said, I'm going in that direction only, I'll take you there. But he was curious youngster. And that time questions like, why are you wearing yellow? Why are you, all these questions they have, no? Who's a brahmachari? All this. And I was in no mood of sitting and answering these kind of questions in that heat. I wanted to get to my destination. And the best way to avoid questions, teenagers are not here, no? Okay? The best way to avoid their question is, and parents get an idea. Yeah? You want the idea? Ask questions. They'll become quiet. So I asked questions. I said, where are you going? He said, to college. I said, why are you going to college? He looked at me. Knowledge. For knowledge. So I said, oh, you're going to college to gain knowledge. But do you attend all the sessions? I can see he's quite late at the moment. He says, no, not all. I bunked some of the classes. So I said, some or most? Now you can't be dishonest with me. He said, most. So if you go to college to gain knowledge, then why are you missing the classes? He said, I'm a student of commerce. I study last moment. I'll pass. Yeah? I'll get a degree. I said, okay, so you're going to the college to gain a degree. Suppose I give you a degree. And he looked at me and he said, this is not India, huh? I said, why do you have such a bad reputation for India? In every country, everything is possible. You want a degree? If I give you a degree, will you go to college? He said, why will I go to college? But what degree can you give? I said, you tell me what you want. You want a master's degree? What you want? You tell me. He said, you will give me a degree, but will I get a job with it? So I said, you want a degree or you want a job? Let's get straight to the bottom line, right? You want a degree or you want a job? He said, obviously I want a degree for a job. And why do you want for a degree what? To gain knowledge. Yeah? Everybody is looking for, Achaya, Swamiji, your new university, Chinmaya Vishwa Vidyapeeth, Chinmaya University. How is the placement? You give. Yeah? People are only interested in placement, no? So I said, you want a degree or you want a job? He said, of course I want a job. So I said, you want a job? And I tell you, that time, every 8 years, how recession hits. And if the recession doesn't hit, you just need one change of politician, no? Yeah. They'll get it done for you. Yeah. So, recession. So he said, you'll give me a job. I said, of course, come to our mission. Yeah. He said, what job? I said, we've got everything. It is one-stop place. Yeah. We have rural development. We have in medicine. We have in education. We have in, that time social media was still not there, but IT was, there is so much work. It's a huge mission. You're interested in teaching the children, you're interested in teaching the youth. Well, anyway, so he said, but how much money I'm going to get? I said, this is a mission. You wanted a job, you never said anything about the money. He said, I'm a young man. I said, then say you want money. If I give you money, you want a job. No, why should I work if I can get money? So I said, how much money do you want? He said, how much can you give? I said, you say, how much do you want? He said, million. It's okay. 10 million? I said, yes. You want in Singapore dollars, US dollars, or sterling pounds? Student of commerce, he didn't even know which is more. Yeah? Everybody thinks US dollar is more, but So he said, US dollars. So I said, okay, $10 million in your bank. He said, really? He was so joyful. And I thought to myself, what did I go giving all these logical, high-level discourses, workshops, seminars to people, and after that also, they don't believe in what I say. Anybody learned 5 verses yet? Yeah. And if you have blind believers like that, why do I need to speak so much, travel so much? So I said, yes, 10 million in your bank. So he said, so I can buy myself a car, I can buy myself this, I said, you never said about buying anything with it. It's there. He said, what is the use of all that money if I can't buy myself a car, I can't buy myself this, that. I said, okay, tell me, what do you want? Give me a list of it, I'll give you that. Yeah. Why do you want to go and buy it? What if 10 million is not enough for it? So he gave this whole list. So I said, okay, you got it. He said, already mine. I said, yes, already yours. He said, you mean say I can drive my car and show off to the girls? I said, see, he never said about driving the car. He was looking at me with amusement and, like, what is this person getting to? So I said, you never said about driving the car. Why do you want to drive the car? You want a car, you have a car. Why do you want to drive the car? He said, of course, I want to go and show off to my friends and all that. So I said, why do you want to show off and all that? Because I want to enjoy. I said, why do you want to enjoy? He said, because I want to be happy. I said, why do you want to be happy? And he stopped there because he had no answer. Yeah? See? Going to college to gain knowledge. Was knowledge for the sake of knowledge? It was for the degree. Was the degree for the sake of degree? Job. Was the job for the sake of job? Money. Very important. Was money for the sake of money? For most people, yes. Very happy I got this much locked up in the bank. Yeah? Money is for what? To buy objects, and all the objects are for their sake. It is for enjoyment. And why do we want to enjoy? Because we want to be happy. But why do you want to be happy? Ah, no answer. See? We want to be happy for happiness sake. Everything else we do is for what? Happiness. Is it or is it not? From the time you are born till the moment you die, you are seeking happiness. They say from womb to the tomb, as we said on the first day. Right? Not only you want, everybody in your family, everybody wants. Not only everybody wants, but everybody wishes for each other. Happy New Year, happy birthday. Do you write sad birthday? Yeah. Rich birthday, happy birthday, happy New Year, happy Diwali. Don't you do that? Now, if there be something you want and others don't want, you may not be able to get it, right? For example, you want a bigger TV and the wife says, what's the use? Try getting it. Huh? But you want, she wants, and children also want it. You will get it, is it not? Something that everybody wants. Everybody wishes for each other also. And yet the question is, has anyone got it? You all are that miserable, is it? No answer. If something we want and we strive for full-heartedly, and everything we do is for that and that alone, shouldn't we be having it? Yet, all our life we work for is happiness, and yet, if you look around, even Buddha said, Sarvam Dukkham Dukkham. Definition of this samsara is Dukkhamaya. Nanak Dukhya Sab Sansar. Kabir Das ji, Tan Dhar Sukhiya Koi Na Dekhe, Jo Dekha So Dukhya Hoye. Yeah? And if you still think that you need proof for that, because I'm not, meet anyone, how do you meet them nowadays? Even if Swami comes in, hi. What does hi mean? Hi, hi. May you also be. What happened to that? Hold your hand. Namaste. Jai Ram Ji ki. Hi. And immediately, hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? An immediate response yours will be what? Fine, thank you. Stay more than 2 minutes with anybody. You'll find nothing is fine with them. And the sad part is that you asked. So now you listen to that person's chain of sorrows. Look around in the world. Look at any television news. Look at any, newspaper, news ad, etc. Everything is only promising you happiness, but it is only misery, misery, misery. Become miserable in this world crying, then people go also. Most people go crying only. But our saying say, जब हम पैदा हुए, जग हंसे हम रोए. When we were born, the world was celebrating and we were crying. They were laughing, we were crying. But ऐसी करनी कर चलो. Live your life in such a way that you go smiling. हम हंसे, जग रोए. Not that you make the world cry, that you're doing anyway. The world pines for you. कि हम हंसे, जग रोए. Now we have all come here to be happy. We are all struggling to be happy. It's just that we forget. But we all deep down know what we are doing is for happiness. A person marries also for happiness. Yeah? You didn't marry for sorrow. It's a different thing that you find out. I mean, what is there? You were taught that from childhood, that the princess saw the frog. Yeah? And the frog said, "Hey princess, give me a kiss." And she said, "Gee, you're so ugly." He said, "Please." Finally, she gave him a kiss on his cheek and he became a prince. And the prince got to the floor and said, "Will you marry me?" And what's the story? She said, "Yes." And they lived happily ever after. And it is called a fairy tale. Pujya Gurudev told us, she said no, and they lived happily ever after. For the ignorant, life is a tragedy. For all of us, isn't it a laughter? We all want happiness. Everything we do is for happiness. Okay, let me put this question in this manner. Is there anyone here who wants sorrow? Put your hand up. What I'm asking is, that once in a youth group, I was saying like this, I was in a college, so I was asking and one person put his hand up. Everybody looked towards that person. So everybody said, "You want sorrow?" So I said, "Why do you want sorrow?" Same question I asked to the college student. He said, "Because sorrow makes me happy." We want happiness, and what do we do day in and out? Do everything that will bring us into sorrow. Simple thing first is, we want happiness, admit to yourself. And don't say that, happiness is not necessary. It's like grapes are sour. Try giving it up, I mean, even Aristotle said, every person must marry in his life. After all, happiness is not everything in life. I mean, that's why he was Aristotle. Yeah. Man marries to be happy. Divorces also to be? Did I hear happier somewhere? Yeah. Everything we do is for happiness. And yet, any excuse we have, we make ourselves miserable. Don't we? Bhagavad Gita starts with Krishna's first words. Asochananvasocastvam pragyavadashta bhashase gatasuna gatasuncha nanushochanti pandita. He says pandita means the wise one, na anusochanti. They don't keep on grieving in life. Incidents will come and go, joy and sorrow comes and go. Situations will keep on changing. But the wise does not continuously grieve. One beautiful statement once Gurudev made, and I repeat this. This is the first line of the Bhagavad Gita, na anusochanti pandita. If we all want to be happy, First and foremost is here and now decide that you will refuse to be miserable. See, you should be so frightened to say that. Because people love misery. Makes them feel me bichara. Victim attitude is the best that people feel, no? Poor me. That's why anybody is good also is a bichara bala admi. Poor good man, because only because he can't do anything he is good. First and foremost is any small thing and we allow ourselves to become miserable. Is it not? One great Mahatma, sometimes they attribute to Kabir Das ji, sometimes to Buddha, it's just a matter of choice. But one great Mahatma was walking on the streets with some of his disciples asking for bhiksha. And that person must have got angry. His son or daughter or somebody must have, or maybe nephew must have gone and become a brahmachari in his ashram. So started giving some bad words. Seems Buddha just walked from there quietly. One of the disciples was just freshly initiated, came up and said, Master, that person said such bad words, maybe you don't know what it meant, but I know what it means. Like today's lingo. Yeah. That's wicked. You don't know what wicked, when youngsters say, that's wicked. You don't know what it means. You're so yesterday. So they have their own lingo. You must have forgotten that language. But I know. Give me permission. Every word he told you, I will give it back to him. It seems Buddha said, I didn't take any of his words. If you have taken it, go give it back. Huh? Oh, everybody is giving me misery. Why are you taking it? See, there's something that somebody physically hits you, injures you, etc. But most of our misery is what? She didn't smile to me. Why did he tell like that? How many excuses we find to be miserable, is it not? Today only, refuse to be miserable. Yeah. Even if the biggest tragedy happens, decide not to be miserable. Then you will find out how to get over with it, or how to handle it, how to resolve it. That if you want to be happy, then refuse to be miserable. Incident happens, the mind will respond in some way or the other. But refuse to continue living in sorrow. Sometimes you meet people at whatever age, parents are very dear to us, and even you may have not seen them for 2-3 years, you don't even look after them, you don't even attend to them, but that they are there at whatever age, it's a sense of security you have. If nobody else you have in your world, parents are there, right? But parent is 95, sick, having lived a full life, passes away, depressed. Why did God do that? You may say God was going to keep him alive for 105 years. Yeah. See how people find such excuses to get depressed, dejected. Refuse to be miserable. Sorrow comes. Joy comes. But both of them will come and go. Na anushochanti pandita. In fact, the roller coaster of life people enjoy, is it not? Yeah? Happiness is neither joy, yeah, nor just the absence of sorrow. In fact, that sense of total fulfillment, contentment. And how do we get that? And what is that happiness? The Upanishads clearly say, Chandogya Upanishad said, Yo vai bhuma tat sukham, na alpe sukham asti. That which is infinite alone can give us total satisfaction, happiness. In the finite, there is no happiness. This is what the Upanishads say. Great masters have logically explained to us, yeah, that if happiness was the nature of any object, nature of an object is what? Just you say that sweetness is the nature of sugar. Sugar can be brown, sugar can be white, sugar can be crystalline, sugar can be powdered. That is not the nature. Those are some qualities of it. But its swarupa, its nature, is sweetness. And you see, in India, people call desserts as sweets because dessert's supposed to be sweet. And nowadays they proudly say, Swamiji, I made you that sweet, but it is not sweet. Can sugar be without sweetness? Can fire be without heat? Can sun be without light? Light is sun, heat is fire, sweetness is sugar. They cannot be separated, is it not? Now, if happiness was the nature of any object, just like sweetness is the nature of sugar. Now, whether you like sugar, you dislike sugar, whether sugar gives you joy or sugar nowadays to everybody, whatever is the trend. Earlier said, don't eat ghee, don't eat ghee, don't eat fat, eat canola oil. Now all seed oils, inflammatory. Eat ghee. Okay? Now eat fat because keto. You will lose weight. Eat fat, you will lose weight. No sugar. Yeah? Therefore, all of you now, we all love sugar, don't we? No, but no sugar. Oh, it's too sweet. It's just a relative concept of the mind, is it not? At least first you could royally eat sweets and say in the Bhagavad Gita, sattvic food is supposed to be sweet. It is there. I'm not bluffing. Yeah. All our sweets, means our desserts, are sattvic only. That's why only we offer it. Right? Oh no, any doctor here, Swamiji, cholesterol. Anyway, I'm not getting into medicine. Read my book, Food, Journey into Health. You'll get some tips about good health. So, sweetness is the nature of sugar. It can be any color, but it has to be sweet. Otherwise, it is not sugar. Now, sugar does not guarantee happiness to everybody. Is it not? Now, once I was giving this example in one place. In those days, people used to smoke. Now they are vaping. Yeah. So they used to smoke a lot. So anyway, giving example of smoking, that for one who is a smoker, when he's got a cigarette in his hand, makes it look as if the person is in extreme bliss. Because nobody reads the warning below that smoking causes cancer. And what vaping does, let me tell you, the other thing that people vape, which has become legal now. Yeah. And I don't want to get into that. So I was giving an example. For a smoker, he smokes, he thinks he's happy. Now, if happiness was in the cigarette, it would give everybody happiness. Those who don't smoke, in fact, it's as though torture for them. At least it's for me. Have you seen those people who love, puja, one agarbati, dhupam agrapayami. You don't have to smoke out the Lord. Huh? And those of us who are allergic, you can't go in any puja because they'll not burn one agarbati, they'll burn whole and they'll put it on your side only, The next few minutes is sheer torture, But that Pandit. So I gave this example. One of the youngster was attending. He didn't like this. Came up to me and he said, Swamiji, what do you mean to say? So I just said that if happiness was in the cigarette, it would have given everybody happiness. Therefore, it is not the nature of cigarette, it's not the nature of sugar to give happiness. No? Not the nature of any object to give happiness. Otherwise, it will give happiness to all the people at all periods of time. Youngsters have their own logic. This guy came up to me and he said, Swamiji, I don't know what you mean to say that there is no happiness in cigarette. I am in bliss. Your karma must be bad. Yeah? You Swamis can't enjoy wine, you can't enjoy cigarette, you can't enjoy whatever else people enjoy. They don't know what we enjoy. Why? Freedom. So he said, anyway, that's his logic. Logic can be twisted this way, that way. Yeah? You can't enjoy because you don't have taste buds. Right? Now, those who like chili, don't go and eat in any Telugu home without pre-warning. Yeah? You see them eating that, what is that, Guru Guru Achar, what is that? Guru Achar. Mouth burning. That was so good. You just let it touch your tongue. That Mexican chili also will not. Yeah? And you go. Now, if happiness was there in chili, it should give everybody happiness, isn't it? And at all times. Yeah? Early in the morning, after the last night achar. So if it has happiness in it, it should give happiness to all the time. So he gave me this logic that your taste buds are not there, That's why in Telugu house I go, they say, Swamiji, you people, don't have taste buds. Yeah? Or super sensitive. Anyway, I heard him. Somebody doesn't want to take my logic. Okay, let him live by his logic. Few years later, one day he comes up to me and says, Swamiji, I want a private interview. I was waiting for it. Yeah, he kind of with his logic, he kind of refuted me. You don't forget those people, right? Yeah. So he came. So I said, so what's happened? He said, my life is miserable. I said, why? What happened? Happiness of your life is gone. He didn't remember what he had told me, but I remembered. Yeah? So I said, what's your problem? He says, wife is ready to divorce. I said, why? Because my son has got asthma. So I said, you got married, have a child? He said, yeah. Doctor is saying that, health is bad. So I said, what does the doctor recommend? He said to give up smoking, but I can't give up smoking. Yeah. It has become the misery of my life. So I said, why? Your karma is bad now. He didn't understand what happened. Same person feels that it is giving him joy, but later on it gives sorrow. So can you say that happiness is the nature of any object? You said it. Okay, let me tell you, our Gurudev was such an amazing teacher. One day we were sitting with him. These adults had banned these youngsters from Bhiksha because they monopolized the Swami, So one youngster had arranged in their house and told the parents also, this Bhiksha is only for youngsters, even you all stay out of it, Anyway, that day, Gurudev, early morning session, we were attending on Kathopanishad, and it was early morning breakfast Bhiksha. He had a bit of a cold. The weather was very, damp and cold. So he had a bit of a cold. Swamis also get cold. Yeah. They also have a body, right? Yeah. We were bodiless, yes. So, anyway, we knew not to trouble him with questions, as we were always full of questions, and he used to love answering it to us also. So, we just sang some kirtan. Gurudev was listening to us. We know not to disturb him. He ate a little bit of his breakfast. He was about to leave. The lady of the house came and said, Swamiji, you got a cold. May I bring you a hot drink? So he nodded his head. And she said, I make good South Indian filter coffee. Even though she was not South Indian, but she was from the South. So, South Indian filter coffee. So Gurudev nodded his head. Once he told me also, don't ever say no for that. But don't bluff me by bringing brew ready-made. Okay? So, and she brought, but of course she didn't bring it in the steel tumbler. She brought it in a fancy European crockery and gave it to Gurudev. Just watching him, whether sit quietly, whether laugh, whether eating also. Yeah, he ate his proper. So, but not that anything would fall or be on his beard. No. So it was, everything he did was just watching him was meditation. So we were just looking at him. As youngsters, we are not like that, but we were just looking at him. And he took one sip of the coffee. Then he slurped the coffee and he said, whoever said that there is no happiness in sense objects? And we were studying Manual of Self-Unfoldment in our chick classes where this logic has been given. And see, you also all nodded your head. But by the time you go out from here and you open that box, and there is Punjabi choles, not the usual different varieties of rice. Right? I mean, rice has to be there, but chole along with it. Now, don't tell me that it does not give you joy. Tell me. See, this is what, great masters, even though they gave us knowledge, but practical ways of your mind. We all say, okay, I understood logic, that there is no happiness in sense object, then stop pursuing it, no. Yeah. But still, can we give up? Because we do enjoy. Huh? So he just took that coffee, poured it on the saucer. I could see that he was just enjoying it. And then he got up from there, and as he was walking out from the door, again he looked at us youngsters and said, "Whoever said there is no happiness in sense objects? However, it is only temporary." That much our mind can accept, no? Yeah. Our sorrows are because we expect permanent happiness from impermanent objects. There's no denying that something gives you pleasure. But it is not permanent, everlasting, complete happiness that we all seek. Because you see, that is life. Just when you are happy, ding, 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 some sorrow has to creep in. Yeah. Now can you imagine those who are standing at the gate with that... Can you imagine? You did not even listen to me when I was doing that. Yeah. Now you know what happens in the house? Sorrow is because we expect that people will have the common sense. But it's rare. Isn't it? So sorrow is there when our expectations, our desires, our wishes are not fulfilled. Yeah? And anything that is temporary cannot give us permanent happiness. And at the same time, when the joy ends, that's why in Sanskrit language, each of this has different words. Ananda is infinite, unending happiness. Sukha is joy. It comes and goes. And punctuates with dukkha, sorrow. So that permanent, everlasting fulfillment or happiness that we are seeking, first and foremost, we must understand cannot be gained from finite, limited objects. Pleasures are there, moments of joy are there, but they are only temporary. And the thing is that when a temporary joy ends, it ends in sorrow because we expect more of it. No? And thus life after life goes in the pursuit of this till one day, whether we hear words of wisdom from the wise or we start pondering like Siddhartha, what am I seeking? What am I seeking? And what am I doing for it? I want permanent, everlasting happiness, and what I do is day and night expect and work to gain finite, limited objects. When our expectations are false, disappointment is natural. Whether from things, beings, or people. This doesn't mean that one cannot live in this world. One should not enjoy, a nice scoop of ice cream. But don't expect everlasting happiness from it. One should not marry. Or like I used to say, happiness is not everything in life. According to it. And therefore, Be the seeker of that which is permanent, that which is everlasting. And the sorrows in our life is when we desire something and you desire only that which you think will give you happiness. Isn't it? I decided to go shopping. What? To be miserable. You need certain objects for your survival. Yeah? If you're eating food, if you can eat it tasty, good enough. But if our happiness depends on it, we will be miserable. And our desire is never for an object, because the same object does not give us joy anymore. We drop it or not. Wife also people drop. What to talk about objects? Relatives are, that's why called as relative. Therefore, this is called as relativity. The whole world is relative. So therefore, if we understand this clearly, and therefore, first of all, Vedanta corrects our thinking. Yeah? Nothing is wrong with the world. The world is finite and constantly changing. It is expecting permanent, everlasting happiness from an ever-changing world and ever-selfish human beings. Yeah? Yavad vittoparjana sakta tavan nija parivaro rakta. Yeah? It's our false expectations. Therefore, bhaja govindam, govindam bhaja mudamati. No? Permanent, everlasting happiness can be gained only from that which is permanent and everlasting. Now, I don't see anything permanent and everlasting. Everything is finite and limited. So, there is no such thing as permanent, everlasting happiness. But Vedanta gives us one more secret. Our desire for any object is cultivated. Till you don't know it's this particular brand that every heroine is carrying, handbag. Yeah, you never had a desire for it. Have you seen the latest popular dish? Yeah, that has taken the world by storm. And if you want to invest in stocks, don't invest in dollars, don't invest in this. Now you know what is the most? You know what it is? Not gold, not Bitcoin. Pistachio. That Dubai pistachio chocolate has caused a shortage in the whole world, I am told. Yeah? Now, those of you who did not know it, I must try that chocolate. Desire comes only when you are told. Before that, you are happy, right? Now, till you have not had that, pistachio chocolate, that desire arises in your mind. Pistachio chocolate, Dubai chocolate. I'm publicizing, Dubai chocolate. Dubai should give me that, some kind of. But Dubai chocolate. Now you have to have it. If you don't have it, nacho. Yeah. Now those who didn't come on the first day, you can have the major FOMO. So mind goes, Dubai chocolate, Dubai. No, it goes. Now if you don't get it, you are miserable. Till you get it, you're miserable. When you get it, I can assure you, you'll be miserable only. Or better than this is pista khatri in India. Just because Dubai put some cardamom in that pistachio, which Lind does not put, Dubai chocolate. Now, when a desire arises in your mind, it creates agitation. Our peace is lost, first day session. Now, once the peace is lost, an agitated mind, a disturbed mind, a desiring mind, a craving mind, a disappointed mind cannot be happy. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita, ashantasya kuta sukham. Where mind is disturbed, there can be no happiness, because at this moment we are our minds. Our experiences are in our mind. Ashantasya kuta sukham. No, but what, Swamiji? Don't tell me. I do get even temporary happiness, no? Yeah. Should I go into another deeper logic? Thank you. We say, but we are enjoying our life. We are joyful. So what if you can't get permanent from one object? Keep on having more and more objects, no? Yeah. At least you're permanently happy. But can you get everything that you want? Yeah. Plus it has got its diminishing enjoyment. First piece of chocolate. 50th piece of chocolate. Have you been to these Punjabi weddings? They give the bridegroom laddu. One laddu, very nice. Second laddu, very nice. Everybody in the congregation comes and feeds the laddu. Looking at that bridegroom, you feel like puking. That poor guy wants to get over with the wedding because in that misery he doesn't recognize what's following. I mean, that's why our Indian customs are very well thought of, you know. In that nadam, you can't think at all. This is how the desire goes. Nacho, 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 nacho. Before that thought of that pistachio chocolate came, you were at peace, right? You were enjoying so much because you didn't want cigarette, this and all that. You were laughing away, you were enjoying yourself. Now that thought came. Which was that? Which is the chocolate? Where is it available? No? The mind goes, chocolate, 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 particular chocolate, that chocolate, and then that particular brand only. Then, is it sure this is from Dubai? You know, it goes. Then because it's from Dubai, it's 10 times more expensive, right? Plus, I do not know if there is any tariffs on it right now. So. You should have, Swamiji should have told it 5 days before. The first day you said it was still not there, but now tariff also on it. Now your mind is going, and as long as it's agitated, it cannot be at peace, it is not happy. But you come after this session, somebody has brought me one bar, and I'll share it with you. You come and there are 20 people waiting there and there are only 10 pieces in it. Yeah, you're waiting. And you are the lucky one who gets it. And you put it in your mouth. It's supposed to be very delicious. No? So, now what happens at that time? Before that desire arose in your mind, you were peaceful, aren't you? You were satisfied, you were happy. Now when the desire comes to your mind, the mind is so agitated that you have the feeling that until and unless I get the object of the desire, I cannot be happy. Sita is sitting in bliss in 13 years, away from the palace, because which woman, young woman, has her husband all to herself for 13 years? Not after retirement. She is in bliss. Ramchandraji has no other duties. Only to make for her, garlands and all that. And what else would a woman want, right? Now that she was going, one desire came to her mind, that when I go there, all my friends, sister-in-laws will be there. I must take some souvenir. Now, she didn't have a mall to go shopping. Yeah, so she saw a golden deer. I want that deer, I want that deer, I want that deer. Now, once that want comes in your mind, you cannot be at peace. And when you get that object, what happens? That agitation stops. The moment that agitation stops, you experience that peace and that happiness. But now you think, you got that peace and happiness from the pistachio chocolate. Now if you want happiness, nacho, 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 pistachio, pistachio. Even if chocolate is not there, eat pistachio. This is what is called as Maya. And what we already have with us. When the desire whips up, and then now there are so many desires, the mind is under constant agitation. The only time the mind is quiet, when for that brief moment you get what you want. And you superimpose that happiness on that particular object, person, situation, incident. And then crave more and more, agitate your mind again and again. Something like this. After 25 years of marriage, this gentleman finally took his wife, after 25 of listening to her, the promised honeymoon. And those days, they would take the people, the best place. People say, what happened if Kashmir is gone? You know how many of you have lost out on a honeymoon? Finally, he took her to Kashmir. And now 25 years of marriage. Yeah? They went and sat on the love boat. Like people, okay, you know Venice better. Yeah? So on the love boat, she was talking away, chatting away. Now that I'm going, I'm buying for so and so, but I'm not buying for that sister-in-law. She went to Paris. Did she bring anything? Only she bought one small glass souvenir. No, I'm buying nothing for her. Now, he's not really interested in hearing it. His mind is, he's a businessman, active man. His mind is on this one young man who's just lying down there, having caught one fish, and just sitting there with his hat, basking in the sun. Finally, she asked him a question, he didn't answer. And she said, you're not listening to me. Huh? She got angry and said, get out of the boat. happily eat it. But those who are active, they can't see anybody at rest, can they? Yeah, depends who wakes up early in the morning, he or she. Yeah, and whoever gets up in the morning cannot allow others to sleep. They make so much noise because how can you sleep? There's so much to do, So he went up to him and said, "Hey, young man." He removed his hat. He said, "What?" "I've been watching you," which means she's been talking for 1 hour, but he's been watching him. "I've been watching you for 1 hour. You have caught just one fish. In this 1 hour, you could have caught 4 fishes. He says, "Then what?" "Then what? You eat one, you sell 3. Then what? Don't look to be prosperous. Like that, you every day come, work for that 1 hour and buy, go and sell the fishes. Then what? Buy a better net, a better, instead of the stick, buy a better rod, buy better bait, fish more fishes." He said, "Then what?" He said, "Then what? Then you buy yourself a boat and a net and then catch more fish." He said, "Then what?" "Then what? You start a fishing company." He said, "Then what?" He said, "Then what? Expand your business." "Then what? Go public." "Then what?" "Then what? Now that you've got sufficient, get married." He said, "Then what?" "Then what? Indian families means have children, not dogs." Yeah. "Then what? You educate them." "Then what?" "Then you send them to Norway so that they know how to package sardines, So you send them to Norway. Okay. He said, "Then what?" "Then what? You bring them back to run your business." "Then what?" "Get them married." "Then what?" "Tell them to have children." "Then what?" "Hand over your business to them. Now that they are responsible, hand over the business to them." He said, "Then what?" "Then what? Then you rest." He said, "What am I doing now?" We whip up our desire and then we massage ourselves. This is how our life gets completely wasted. We have to eat, we have to enjoy whatever it may be. Yeah. But do not think that happiness that we seek can be gained from impermanent objects. Therefore, in the Bhagavad Gita, many beautiful verses are there. About Sthita Pragya, it is said, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha mano gatan atmaiva yatmana tushtaha sthita pragyastaduchyate. Sthita pragya tada uchyate. Such a person is called as a person of steady wisdom, who, having given up all desires, another place in this life, who is happy. Krishna says, "Shaknoti ihaiva yasodum prak sharira vimokshana kama krododbhavam vegam sayukta sasukhi nara." One who, while living itself, can give up the impulse of kama, obsessive desire, and when desire is not fulfilled, what comes is frustration, sorrow, and anger. By anger, not only you cause sorrow to yourself, but you cause sorrows to even people whom you love. One who can conquer these two while living, they are happy people. But one who can give up all desires. And what is the desire? Desire for happiness in sense object. Objects of the needs of the body you can't give up. As long as you live, you have to eat food. And we don't eat nachos, but tahir sadam at least you have to eat. Yeah, khichdi kadi at least you have to eat. No? Might as well make it tasty and eat. That's not the thing. No? But kamana, a desire that I cannot be happy without this object is called as kamana. One, and desires arise because of our past impressions, vasanas. Desires arise because suddenly you hear Swamiji talking about pistachio chocolate. Yeah. So many reasons why desire rises. But here is the psychological beauty. Yeah? Whole Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan points out. Desire comes from what we hear, what we see. Therefore, keep your environment, therefore keep yourself in the company of good people, where you hear good things, you hear about good things. So if you have desire also you have for good things. Good desires are those which will actually make you rise over all, these addictions, etc. So whatever it is, keep your senses in the right environment. You can't close your senses. Therefore, satsangatve nisangatva. Keep yourself in the right environment, company of people, good people, devoted people, seekers of truth. Keep that company, right? Still, past impressions that are there, desires come from within. When they come from within, right? Any desire, when it first comes, it comes as an impulse. I must have it. If you wait and not immediately go and buy the new phone that has come, you'll have time to reason whether you really need it or not. Whether you can afford it or not. Is it really worth it? No? Just for a few more pixels which you're not going to print. Whether it is phone number 1 or phone number 16. The picture that you see on the screen is the same. And all the time is a selfie. That you don't need high resolution cameras. See, your mind will keep thinking, is it worth it? No? Plus you don't even know how to switch off the phone and switch on the phone. Why not buy those old-fashioned phones which are available very cheap? All you have is a click of a button and it switch off. Yeah? It won't ring only. No? You can reason it. Therefore, vega. Anger and lust means strong obsessive desire. They have that immediate moment of impulse. If that time you are able to bear it, and how do you bear it? Keep your mind on something higher. Or get into a protective atmosphere. Then you'll be able to reason out. Therefore, there's a saying in Hindi, Kal kare so aaj kare so ab. Any good thing, like charity also, whatever it is. Don't do it tomorrow, do it now because you don't know it will never happen. But as far as these things are concerned, what is you want to do now, do it tomorrow. Postpone your anger. Postpone your object of desire and it will fade away. Till at least you'll be able to reason out. And the secret of happiness is given in this beautiful equation that Gurudev has given. that our happiness is number of desires entertained divided by number of desires fulfilled. Or the other way around. Good. The mathematics is good. Desire is number of desire fulfilled divided by the number of desires entertained. Now suppose you've got 100 desires. I mean, as such, you have thousands. To fulfill all that desires will not be possible. Now think about it. From the thousands of desires that you have, how much you are able to fulfill? Now suppose you have less desires. If you've got 100 desires, at least half you can probably, quarter you can fulfill. So what will be the unit of your happiness? 0.5. Now suppose you've got 10 desires, and how difficult is to fulfill 5 desires? Still your happiness unit will be 0.5. You get the point? If you've got 5 desires, chances of fulfilling all 5 desires, your unit of happiness is 1. If you got 1 desire and you've fulfilled it, your unit of happiness is 1. Maximum your unit of happiness is 1. Now, whether you've got 1,000 desires and you have to fulfill 1,000 desires to have 1 unit of happiness, or you've got 5 desires and you fulfill that 5 desires, which is a better chance, still your unit of happiness is 1. Less your desires, chances of your fulfillment of desires are more. That's why I said, keep a goal so that all your other desires either get fulfilled in it or get eliminated in keeping that goal. And to fulfill that one goal, it is easy. That's also a desire, mind you. But your maximum happiness can be only 1. Therefore, our Rishi said, rather than increasing the numerator, means fulfilling so many desires, just like modern marketing does. If you reduce the denominator, the number of desires entertained, your chances of joy is more. Still, it is only 1. But suppose your desire becomes 0. Denominator becomes 0. The numerator becomes? I know many of you don't know that. When the denominator is 0, the answer is infinity. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmaiva yatmana tushta sthita pragyastada uchyate. Such a person is called as sthita pragya. Now yesterday we took you all through meditation, no? Shri Krishna says in the meditation chapter, as the mind becomes withdrawn and quiet, it is in that quiet mind that the bliss of the self is reflected. That peace and happiness that you feel naturally, which is your own nature, your own Swarupa, because there's nothing and yet you are peaceful. There's no thing and yet you are happy. That happiness cannot come from any object. It is coming from you only. And as you begin to withdraw your mind and turn towards the consciousness within, the mind becomes so peaceful, and in that peace you experience, yet it's just an experience, that bliss, that your mind gravitates towards it. Afterwards, meditation is not an effort. Gravitates towards it. And just as the salt tall that goes to the ocean, Galita, the mind dissolves in peace and bliss to become bliss. And the more you begin to realize that peace and happiness is not gained through objects of desire, but by turning your mind inward, free of all desire and agitation, that happiness no one can take away from you. Because it is not conditioned happiness dependent on any person, situation or thing. And when you discover that is your own nature, then the mind never ever can be even, and Krishna says, even by a mountain of sorrows thrown by the world, that person will not be miserable. Doesn't mean that for the sorrows of others does not feel sorrow, but is not disturbed by any amount of sorrow. Janama janama ke dukha bisarave. Even past memories no longer bother such a person. That is the bliss that the spiritual knowledge Vedanta talks about. And that infinite is what the scriptures talk about as truth, reality, Brahman, Paramatma, God. And tomorrow we will see who or what the scriptures call as God, not what people believe to be God. And that permanent, infinite, what is its nature? How do we come to know it? What are the various aspects? And who is that lover of the universe? We shall see that tomorrow. And how to meditate. Because the question is, what do we meditate upon? All other topics I covered yesterday. But what do we meditate upon? Already guided you throughout today. And then tomorrow will be the final session. So we'll conclude with the Shanti part and then few minutes of announcements. Anyway, today's Saturday, no? Don't go out for pizza party. What you've heard, reflect the joy and laughter we've got here. Let us share it. Go home. Don't create misery for them. Laugh with them. Or laugh at them. Make them laugh. And life is so simple. No? Why there should be misery or cause misery to anyone? Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.